If you're a Gen Z person, do you feel like you're being held back in the workplace or maybe not getting through to jobs that you apply for, like you're applying into the abyss?
I mean, that would make sense. That's how I felt. That's how I still feel.
So apparently this is extra bad for Gen Z job seekers, according to the executive vice president of Career Group Companies, Emily Levin.
Okay.
She says that she has experienced a lot of Gen Z people complain that you apply for a job online and then you don't hear anything from anybody. You don't have a personal email to follow up with or anything like that.
Yep.
And apparently the reason for that is because Gen Z has a very bad reputation with hiring managers from companies all over the place.
I mean, is it that though? Because I remember whenever I was first trying to get into the workforce and get a full-time job, I applied to countless jobs, hundreds of jobs, and very few ever responded with anything. I remember I was shocked the very first time I got a letter saying, like, we went in a different direction, because that didn't even happen, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, when I was, trying to first get into the job market.
Maybe it's just every set of young people deals with this every single time. I don't know. But apparently the hiring managers, flags go up whenever they see a Gen Zer's resume because they know the high expectations that these people have at their first ever job out of college.
I think that's incredibly dumb if that is the reason that hiring managers aren't reaching out to people.
Really?
Just because, seriously, because I feel like, you might come across a lot of Gen Zs who, are coming in and saying, I won't do this, I won't do that. Well, then don't hire them. But I think it's crazy to gloss over a whole group of people and say we're not even going to interview them. We're not even going to give them the time of day, because I guarantee you there's plenty of kids who are still ready and willing to come in and do the work and, prove themselves.
But time is money. And if you're wasting time interviewing a candidate who's going to have all these crazy expectations, and we've talked about it before, how Gen Z is the first generation who kind of feels like their work life should revolve around their personal life, and all the older generations feel the exact opposite, that they have to figure out what to do with their personal life and it revolves around their work life. Like, that's what a hiring manager wants. They don't want somebody who's like, my whole personal life. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm telling you what the companies would want out of people.
But then that's the same thing that they used to do to us when we were younger. That's the same. Like, I remember all the horrible articles that they would write about millennials, about how they're so entitled and they come in here having these crazy demands. And I think I know I was willing to do anything at that age. And I honestly, because I had gotten so beat down in the job hunt, I did get taken advantage of a lot in my first couple of jobs. I think that happens to a lot of people. But I don't think you should turn away somebody.
The other thing that is hurting Gen Z in the job hunt is how they have kind of been labeled as the generation that will hop from job to job to job, and turnover is expensive to companies. So certain hiring managers are saying, let's pay a little bit more for somebody with a little bit more experience, because we don't want to have to go through the expenses of replacing them in 6 months.
Man.
I mean, they're running businesses. Like, I can't really fault the companies.
I understand that they're running businesses, but if you're having high turnover with Gen Z, I can guarantee you're having high turnover with other generations too, because you're probably not treating your employees the best. You're probably not paying what's fair. Everyone is job hopping these days. That's the environment they created because they stopped showing workers loyalty. So now workers aren't going to show loyalty to you.
It's interesting for sure, but maybe Gen Z, if you can't find a job, if you're not getting hired, lower the expectations just a little bit. Low expectations, key to happiness. I always say it.